Hey, this is BugPowderDust. Thank you once again for joining me for episode 13 in my occasional series, Distinctly Average, in which I am distinctly average. However, in this one, I do get a mastery badge on the T29, something I've been trying to obtain for a while. So we're on the Siegfried line. It is a standard battle. Teams are... we have more heavies, they have more mediums, so we'll probably dominate the town initially, and they'll probably dominate the countryside. I'm in the T29, as I said earlier, very strong turret, arguably one of the best tier 7 heavy tanks in the game. I think I probably wouldn't have done so well in this game in a Tiger or an IS or the AMX M445, but I guess that's open to interpretation. Now this game also features the consequences of two mistakes, one I would say most definitely by me, and the other one is by I think the other members of the team, not so much a mistake but a failure to do something, and I'll go into bit more detail as those moments pop up. You'll see that pretty much everybody is going for the city, leaving our countryside quite open. Now, probably beginning to mid-game this is not necessarily a problem, but late game what happens is their mediums or their tanks will push up through the countryside and end up coming out behind us. So this is something to keep an eye on. Got to try and push it through. In terms of skill, we have less players with over 1000 WN8 than they do, but this is again just an indicator. A little bit cautious, see a T67 making a break for it, so I'll take a shot, tracks him, takes off most of his health, and he gets finished by the Comet. So it's a good early start for us, and it takes quite a dangerous tank out of the game. So all in all, a very positive start. So I'm a little bit twitchy about pushing around. KV13 is a good player, and I also don't want to get hit in the side as I come around this corner. The T29 is a big old beast and has weak side armour, so I'm a little bit cautious about coming up. But I see that we've got our tanks crossing that diagonal down there, so I feel a little bit more confident about pushing up. So I'm going to push up and poke my nose around the corner. KV13 is actually well back, he's not using the rubble to go hull down and look at me, so that's kind of good as far as I'm concerned. I also notice that they don't have any tank destroyers, which means there's probably nothing sitting back on the sort of J or H lines and sniping into this middle area, which is very good news for us, which means I can kind of push up with confidence, and then most of their tanks are going to be further forward. However, this being a random game, you never know, you can't rely on things like that. So I decided to push up and try and deal with this KV13. Although he's a tier 7 as well, I've got quite a big punchy gun, and I need to try and take him on because he's causing problems for 4 of our tanks on the right hand side of the map. So I decided to commit now, along with the M6. I think he sees me in back, so he doesn't necessarily want to take me on head on, but he doesn't have a choice. So T25 hits me from the distance. He's got 3 on autoloader, so I bounce his second 2 shots, and I decide that I want to discourage him from poking out quite so much. And I'm pretty sure that shot went in. So he hits me with 2 of his return shots, and meanwhile the M6 rather admirably takes out the KV13. Good job, very good job. So having that job done, we've now cleared up the east side of the minimap for the 3 mediums and TD. I want to push down here, and I want to try and help out my tanks. Now let's just I'm going to stop the game very shortly, and this is where I make my mistake. As I push round, I see this TOG. Okay, so what I do here is I start to engage the TOG. Now you notice it on the minimap, exactly what I suggested would have happened has happened. So their mediums have gone through the countryside and now surrounded our heavy tanks in town. So what I need to do is get rid of this TOG as soon as I can, and then go and try and take out the Japanese tier 6 Tiger, the HT number 6. I don't have a very quick reload, and that TOG 2 has got quite a dangerous gun. So I need to make sure that I kind of get on with this. So our heavy tanks have kind of regained the initiative. I'll put another big hit into the TOG, but at this point I'm going to pause it again. It's going to take me another 2 hits to kill that TOG. Now what I should do, as I reload, I see him pointing at somebody else, get another shot in. Now what happens here is he starts to back off. What I should do now is come around this corner. I'm just going to unpause the game. You'll see this heavy tank here in the middle of the screen now has just killed one of our guys, and they're under a lot of pressure. Now this HT number 6 causes quite a lot of problems for our team. What I should have done is immediately disengage the TOG and go and engage the HT number 6, but I don't do that. I decide that the TOG is a one-shot, and then I change my mind and I go back. So my indecision there has caused me problems, because what I could have done is basically moved on now, engage the HT number 6, and that's going to come back to bite me in the bottom. Let me go back to my view. So again, I'm bothering with the TOG. Again, what I should have done here is go and deal with a heavy tank, but I didn't do that. The T25 I just killed gets a bit salty in chat. Can't see why. But I spot the opportunity to get a quick kill there. Now you'll notice in town all our heavies are dead. And now the HT number 6 that I should have engaged earlier has counted for 4 kills. So he really is a player that I should have taken out of the game, or he started to engage, but I didn't do that. So I push around, snap off a shot that was never going to hit at the T34, who's fired a premium at me. Probably wasn't necessary, but I'm sure he had it loaded anyway. So I'm thinking, right, what do I do now? So again, this is where something else happens that I'm thinking this was the mistake, I think, by the team. You'll notice that they have one arty left, the AMX-13, down there in H4. We've got 2 mediums. Now I don't know whether this was a mistake or they just weren't able to get to it, but they really... I was kind of hoping that they would kill that arty. That arty causes me major problems at the end of the game. T34, I think that was a bad play by him, but he did again get premium into me, and he moves on. Some bad situational awareness by me as I zoom in. Get called a camper noob by the T25 that killed earlier. Yeah, I don't know what his definition of camping is, but this isn't it. Anyway, so I don't want to push around the corner and get hit for 220 damage in the side by the Japanese heavy. So get splashed by arty, which didn't do any damage apart from knocking my track out, but that's okay for now. The TOG, I guess, was pointing his turret at something else, and I don't know. Anyway, T34 on 1 hit point. I've got to take him out of the game. Dangerous player, firing premium, going to cause me lots of problems if I don't take him out. So let me pause the game again. Okay, so now we have a Cromwell, and we've got the SU-122, and the last known area of their T34-1 was up in the north. So at this point, the Cromwell and the SU, not so much the SU, but the Cromwell could have gone out and taken down the arty with fairly with ease, I would say, but he doesn't do that, unfortunately. And again, the RT starts causing problems. I'm a prime target for this RT. I'm expecting the heavy tank to come around the corner, but he doesn't. He backs off. What he's doing is he's keeping me proximity spotted for the artillery, and I realise this. I'm really hoping the Cromwell goes to take on the artillery, but he doesn't. But the HT now is firing at the Cromwell, so I need to shut this guy down. But I don't want to lose 220 damage because I'm now 1 hit. That RT hit me for 300 damage almost, has caused me a real problem. The Cromwell unfortunately just kind of sits there and tries to hit him. And so now the T34-1 has come down from the north down to the south, and he's joining in the battle as well, so the Cromwell really is in trouble now. The SU-122 is the most dangerous tank we have left. I'm really hoping that he stays alive and can do some damage to the T34. So what I decide to do is go round. I'm hoping that the heavy tank driver is preoccupied with aiming at the Cromwell or the SU, and he's not going to see me going round. I would have become despotted. I won't be in proximity to him, so I'm kind of crossing my fingers. I'm taking a risk here, and I can see he's not pointing his turret at me, so I move around and very simple kill. Unfortunately, we lose the SU-122 44. So I'm looking at this now and I'm thinking it's going to be highly unlikely, unless the Cromwell really pulls out a blinder, that we're going to win this. And I can see that I've done almost 3,000 damage plus the hidden damage I did to the Skoda earlier on, which I believe I did. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to go down here. It gives me a bit of cover from the RT. The T29 should always be used whenever there's any chance of going hull down. The T29 needs to do that. T34 is approaching the Cromwell. Cromwell's a one-shot. The T34 is a good player. This is only going to end one way, and I'm kind of hoping he kind of going to circle around the Cromwell, but he doesn't do that, so I carry on moving up. If I can take out the T34-1, then it means that I have a chance of taking out the RT, but sadly the Cromwell goes down. If he'd engaged us both at the same time, the chances are we could have done something with him. So I say good game in chat, because I know this isn't going to end well. I'm really not very hopeful here, but it was a good fight and everyone fought very well. So I'm going to pop up over, hopefully catch him by surprise. shot. He bounces a premium round off my turret, so I'm hoping my turret will hold up for the next shot. Go for the reload. I think I probably exposed a little bit too much of my lower plate there, and he puts the gold round through probably just a bit below my turret. Fair play. If I was in his shoes, I would be using premium as well in this situation. And you can see in the background there that I was being charged by the AMX, who was probably going to shotgun me, which again was probably the right move for them as well. So good game for those guys, and for most of the members of my team anyway. So let's have a look at the after battle results. Okay, so as you can see, I did get the mastery. I got a Bruiser award, 5 for effect, and whatever the one on the right hand side is, I think high caliber. But I also got a 1-star marker for my gun, which is always very nice, so I'm quite glad to get that. And as you can see, I'm not running a premium account at the moment, so I got 1396 experience. So here's the team breakdown. You can see I came top with 3588 damage, so the shot against the hidden Skoda T29 obviously did go in. The enemy team, fair play, and my hat off to Fox PL, who was driving the T34-100. Even though I killed him sort of 3-4 minutes before the end, he still racked up a very impressive 3266 damage. So my hat off to that player. And the Japanese heavy tank that I should have killed earlier came second, so clearly that was a bad call by me not to engage him sooner. And finally, here's the end plate. So you'll see that by not running a premium account, even though I did quite a bit of damage, I didn't fire any premium rounds, I still only made 14,000 credits, so kind of unfortunate, but every time you fire this gun it costs 1,000 silver, so you have to make sure you hit everything. Shots fired 16, 14 direct hits, so I only missed 2, and of every shot that hits penetrated, which you kind of expect in a sort of a tier 7 game, which I was in, with the sort of gun that the T29 has. So all in all, a very good result. So I hope you enjoyed that. So that comes to the end of this video, and it just goes to show that if you make a small mistake in the game, it can have consequences for you later on. But there we go, such is the nature of World of Tanks. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please leave a like or a comment, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers, bye.